It is one aspect, nutrition, breeding and all these things. Coming to the technological aspects. Dear friend, what milk we are producing in India at present, you will be surprised to know that 35% milk are being withheld at the producer level. The farmers are withholding 35%, only 65% is going for marketing for the trade. And out of that, total milk produced, only 17 to 20% are being processed. 60 to 70% of milk are being consumed as a fresh liquid milk. And out of that 60 to 70%, data says that 30% are forcefully consumed fresh milk. Forcefully in the sense, I have worked in the JNK, I know that there are villages where they are producing 20 liters of the milk, their requirement is only 10 liters, but 10 liters they are forcefully consuming because there is no system to collect that milk so that send in the processing system. So in that direction we have to see that how we can enhance the extent of processing from 60 to 20%, at least to 60%. Do you know that in Holland and Israel, which we say that this is the best milk producing nations, in Holland the extent of processing of milk is 99%. In Israel, the extent of processing of milk is 93 to 95%. If we want to make our presence in the global level, we have to increase the extent of percentage of the processing of the produced milk. Last aspect. We say that milk is a complete food. Now we are talking that this is good for livelihood and it is good for the growth. But now milk has to be seen as a four-corner. In addition to the complete food, milk is a best source of many diseases which can create the catastrophe. Third, milk can be used in a positive way by giving different probiotics, prebiotics to increase the health of the consumers. Think about salmonellosis. Milk is the best source to give the salmonellosis for the foodborne diseases. Think about the tuberculosis. In world, 1/3 population of world is suffering with tuberculosis. In that, 45% is being contributed by the Mycobacterium bovis, which is in the canines, which is in the cattle, which is in the buffalo. Why I am saying this thing? I am not making you afraid. Why I am saying? Because all are industrialists. Can we think in that direction that we develop a system of pasteurization and make a Mycobacterium tuberculosis as an index of pasteurization, either by increasing the time or by increasing the temperature? What present system we are following, it is difficult to increase the time. Can we think that we increase the temperature and we take Mycobacterium tuberculosis as an index of pasteurization? 1/3 of the tuberculosis patients are in India. Every year 2 million people are being added in that direction. Listeria monocytogenes, think about. That is another catastrophe. A healthy cow may act as a reservoir of Listeria monocytogenes. In America, where there are so many very strict food regulation, 216 Listeria monocytogenes positive cases in human beings have been reported in 2007. Think about India, where there is no system. Plus point if we see, in 1 minute I will say, milk is the best source through which we can administer the probiotics, prebiotics for the benefit of the health. We know that Bifidobacillus bacteria, which are being used for the different dairy products. No other products, no cereal products will be better vehicle than the milk as far as probiotics and prebiotics is concerned. So dear friends, dear participants, this is a beginning. We should not feel satisfied, we should not feel contented that India is at number 1 in milk production. So no. We have to always analyze that on what cost India is at number 1 production in the milk and where we are making a dent in the global business or not. No. Number of the animal is the most important thing which we have to think in direction. India is losing 2.6 crores rupees per day in form of methane gas energy from the ruminants. If we can reduce the number of ruminants, we can reduce the number of methane production, we can utilize that methane energy in production of the milk. So we have to think in that direction, that reduce the number of animals, increase the productivity of the animals, which is only 899 as compared to 2,220 liter in world average. Increase the productivity, decrease the number of animals, increase the extent of processing of the milk, either by modifying the equipments or modifying the technology. Lastly, as far as quality is concerned, these milk technologists, I have spoken many times, it is not a research at all that we conduct 1,000 samples, 6,000 samples, 20,000 samples and say that 20% is having pesticides residue, 5% is having antibiotic residue, 10% is having heavy metals residue. No. As a scientist, we have to think, as a technologist, as an engineer, we have to think, we have to develop some technology which can give the utilization of that milk which is having even antibiotic residue or which is having even pesticides residue. For example, if pesticides residue is having DDT, chlorinated hydrocarbon insecticides, or BSC, or gamma-hexane, or DDE, can we develop a technology that all the pesticides or the insecticides is coming in the fat portion? Fat portion we can discard or we can go for further processing, and the milk which is without fat can be used for good health. So we have to think in that, we have to think 10 years before, keeping in view our impurities, our pesticides, insecticides and antibiotics residue. With these few words, I know that we are feeling hungry. I wish a very good recommendation should merge out from this 3 days convention, where we have wasted lot of time, lot of money, and it is implemented. We take the action and we present in the next conference whenever it is scheduled. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I congratulate the organization. Thank you. Jai Hind.